My name's Nicholas Goodwin. I volunteer with the teen group, and I work a lot, both in the Sunday night teen group as well as running the quizzing program for the teens at Marion Naz. I'm a lawyer. I graduated from Ohio Northern University, which is not too far away from here, and I got a job down in Cincinnati. My wife and I have lived down there for about 10 years. 2 years ago, we were leasing a house down there, and they decided that they wanted to sell that house. And my wife and I decided that we wanted to buy a house finally, instead of just leasing one. We're looking around to rent a house, and if you know Patty Linebaugh, she's my wife's mom, my mother-in-law. She wanted to see us, so we decided to move up here to come up here with them. And I was looking for another job. And I had gotten an opportunity to work in Greene County as a judge, and was already going through the process of getting that position and putting together a campaign committee to run for judge there. And when we came here, we were just supposed to live here temporarily until we could find a place to live down in Greene County for that position. We were kind of orienting our entire life around that. And we came to Marion Naz, and God spoke to me in a way that I've never been spoken to before, which was almost a direct request to not go to Greene County and to stay here, and specifically to work with the teenagers. And just like Jonah, I decided not to do that. So my wife and I kept looking for houses, and I kept ignoring it, and I kept walking away from what God was clearly trying to tell me. And my wife and I had actually gone as far as putting in an offer on a house. When we went down to Greene County, we found a house that we absolutely loved. It was perfect. It was in the right location. We had our real estate agent was great, and he was like, "Oh, you guys are totally going to get this house." The offer was accepted on the house, but we prayed the day before that if this offer was accepted, we were going to take it, right? And we were going to move there and see that as a sign. 2 days after that couple accepted our offer, they withdrew it and took their house off the market. My real estate agent told me that in 25 years, he had never seen someone take their house back after having accepted an offer. And my wife and I looked at each other and went, of course, of course that's God. It's getting himself involved. And I took that as a sign. And I just said, okay, God, I understand. This is what I'm supposed to do. So the next day I called and rejected the offer for the judgeship, which was almost guaranteed. And so we decided to come here instead, specifically to work with the teens at Marion Naz. And so it took a while because my work schedule, I've worked 2 jobs to help my wife and I, pay for expenses. Law school's not cheap. I've worked 2 jobs for about 8 years, 2 full-time jobs. And so I had to adjust my hours so that we could work with the teens and still be able to work both jobs. So that took a couple months, but everything kind of worked itself out. And I have been able to see God working through that process for the last year. Basically, everything that needed to happen for us to be able to move here, for us to be able to work with the teenagers, for us to be able to afford to live up here has happened. And it's kind of, in an odd way, it wasn't easy, but it was smooth. God has kind of, I can clearly see where he's paved the way in front of us when we decided to do the right thing. If you aren't involved in a ministry at Marion Naz, you need to get involved. Not only for the people that you're going to be helping, but for yourself. Because it brings home the reality of Scripture. It brings home to you what it means to serve others. Serving others in not just to serve them, but to serve them because we're serving Christ will bring massive change to your relationship with Christ.